Good morning, fellow Spurs fans. It's the morning after the match before. And as they say, just when you think things just can't get any worse, along come Tottenham just to stick that knife in even further. And this time they're twisting it, taking you right to the edge of your senses and your emotions. It's really difficult. This is a really difficult thing to do because I'm kind of running out of things to say, emotions to share. I watched the game yesterday with some of the guys from South Dorset Spurs, the Bournemouth, Paul and Christchurch part of that. And alongside us was a couple of friends, Gary and Troy. A shout out to those guys who are Newcastle fans. And they were having a great time. They absolutely loved it, and fair play to them. I don't blame them in the slightest, because if it was the other way round, then we would have been cheering just as loudly as they were. But I did say before the game that I felt that you just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know who's going to turn up and how we're going to play and what kind of effort's going to be applied to it and so on. And so I did have not a suspicion, but something in my gut was saying we could lose here, which is an obvious statement because you can lose any game, but we could get done over here, and but I was not expecting a 5-0 drubbing within the first 20 minutes. It was mind-boggling and shocking to see it. The capitulation of this team from where we were last season and where we felt we were going to be at the start of this season, it feels unprecedented. I've never seen another team go through it. I've certainly never seen Tottenham go through it before. And I've seen us play some bad football and I've seen us be poor. But back in those days, it was expected. That's what we expected. There was no expectation that we were going to turn up and really have a good game and play well and turn teams over. It was always a hope, but it was never an expectation. I think now, with the invention of social media and all the rest of it, the expectation is a lot higher, and we have overachieved over the course of the last few seasons. Not these recent seasons, but obviously in previous seasons. And so it's kind of built this expectation, when they're talking about the European Super League, Tottenham are in there, and people go, how the hell did Tottenham get in there? And I kind of agree with them. Like, how the hell are we even considered in that, considering we've won bugger all? But honestly, I at the beginning of this season, I felt that things were on the change. We were moving forward. There was a new coach with a winning mentality, not suited to Tottenham, absolutely not suited to Tottenham in the way that we've been before. But for me, this was last chance saloon for Levy. This was the one that kind of said, we're putting all our eggs in one basket. We're going with a proven winner, and we're going to back him, give him what he needs to finally break this hoodoo and get us on that winning stretch. And then once we'd maybe built up that bit of history and a bit of improvement, from then we could kind of consider where we go from there, and do we go back to a project or something. So I kind of felt that was where we were heading. And then we started buying players early. We were buying players with experience. You look at Foster in goal, good backup, plenty of experience and so on. And Perisic, who's coming in and who's got experience and plays to the way that Conte wants to play and so on. Anyway, but the capitulation from then to now is just unbelievable. And there's got to be something going on within the club for Conte to rant the way he did and lose his shit the way he did. He's got to be seeing something. And he said, we have to play the way we play because of the players that we've got and the mentality that we have. And we've all been calling out for trying to be more expansive, trying to get our attacking players attacking and all the rest of it. And with Conte going and Stellini staying, and that's a whole different ball game. It almost felt like yesterday's lineup and change of tactic was kind of meant to appease rather than, be a real tactic for this game. It feels like he's trying to give the fans and the hierarchy what they want. And it just kicked him in the face. I mean, Perisic essentially was a winger who's converted to a wing back. Porro is a wing back who you're now asking to play as a full back. And it just went spectacularly wrong. And as soon as that first goal went in, the confidence literally dropped from the team, drained from that team whatsoever. The passing was appalling. The decision-making was appalling. You're playing balls back across your goal line when when you've got Newcastle players springing on you out of nothing. And like every player on that pitch seemed to have absolutely zero confidence. And that's where the problem with effort and application comes in, because they all start to hide there. No one wants the ball. No one wants to be that guy that gives it away, that leads to the next goal and so on. And so invariably, they give it away and become the guy that just give it. And you look at Hugo, who's kind of standing static and not moving, not coming out quick enough. Like, for the goal from outside the box, Isaac, was it, who just hammered it from way outside? Great goal. And Hugo's just standing there. That's a player without confidence. This is a player who's just looking at his defence and has no trust in them whatsoever. And the defence are looking at him with no trust whatsoever. I mean, we've all loved Hugo. We've all supported Hugo. He's a long-serving member of the squad. And he has been great for Tottenham over the years. But there comes a time when you can see that he's just not what you need anymore. You need keepers that can come out and play with their feet, keepers that can make really quick decisions. And he's just not that guy anymore. It's just too fast for him, and he's just lost. And the fact that he didn't come out in the second half for an injury, I'm wondering whether that injury is bruised pride or something like that, because, I mean, it was just unbearable to watch. And to be there, to be that keeper who's picking the ball up out the net 5 times in 20 minutes must be soul-destroying, absolutely soul-destroying. But again, the defending is just crazy. I mean, listen, I don't think you can take away the fact that for how bad Tottenham were, Newcastle were really good. I mean, the pass, I think it was Joe Linton, the pass for it was the third goal, was sublime. I mean, outside of his foot, whipped it across. And, the Newcastle player was on it like a shot, and took it past the defenders, who were nowhere. One defender near him. Hugo comes halfway out. Should I stay? Should I go? And it's just tucked away. And it was, they were absolutely deserved the win. Absolutely, you cannot take it away from them. But I can't. I'm not here to talk about Newcastle. I'm here to talk about Tottenham and how you feel. You see the fans leaving after 20 minutes. I don't blame them. Literally, I'm watching it in the pub and I'm thinking, I want to go home. I've just had enough. And the thing is, you're watching it and you're almost laughing with yourself, like, there you go. Just, you can see it. Here we go again. And it was just a total capitulation. And as much as fans will go, but it's the players on the pitch and it's the manager and this, that and the other. But Daniel Levy, as a owner, as a chairman, he's got to take some responsibility for this, because you cannot allow an understudy take this on board and make them kind of decisions and not take some kind of responsibility. Stellini, he's obviously desperate to try to appease and try to improve things quickly. And he's looking at how we're playing defensively and sitting back and thinking, we can't afford to do that. We need to be more expansive. We need to push on more. But then you've not got the right players in the positions to be able to do that. You know, Ben Davies was on the bench. You know, okay, he's come back from injury. Maybe he needed to be in that team. You get what I just... So anyway, it just rips your heart out just watching it. And I know that's an overstatement, right? Because this is just a football game, but it's how it makes you feel. And you just despair about where are we going from here? What next? I mean, I said weeks ago, I'm literally not interested in top four. I'm literally not interested in where we finish. I just want the season over so that we can move on with some kind of plan. So for me, this is the time for Daniel Levy to take some action. What are you gonna do now? Stellini, if he's got any pride, needs to kind of step back. I'm not saying necessarily walk away, but step back, because you are not the man. And all the people crying out for Ryan Mason, Jesus Christ, he's sat on the bench as well, making these decisions. So I can't, that's not going to inspire anyone. It's not going to inspire me as a fan. It's not going to inspire the players. We need to start thinking now. Because if we don't, next season's going to be another disaster, or even worse. We can't afford that. You cannot afford that as a club the size of Tottenham to allow yourselves to keep slipping down this way. And nobody's exempt from it. You only got to look at Everton and Leicester. You know, these teams that have been up and have rich histories, you know, struggling and dropping down the leagues. So I really can't sit here and go, I'm looking forward to next season and seeing where we go from there, because at this moment in time, I don't feel like there is a plan, there is a vision, there is any kind of idea about where we go from here. And they need to start making that, preparing for next season now. You need to be doing now. And for me, Daniel Levy, you need to step down. You need to step down from this position as the chairman. You can still be your investor, you can still own and all the rest of it as far as I'm concerned, money, but you need to stop having any decisions in this. Someone else needs to take the reins to kind of drive where we go from here, because you've taken us to where we are now. Okay, it's not been great all across the board, business-wise, yeah, fantastic stadium, all that kind of malarkey, but that's not what we're interested in as football fans. What we're interested in is not getting humiliated week after week. Because things are going to get harder, right? We've still got Liverpool to play. We've still got Man United to play, you know? So let's not kid ourselves that the next games are going to be any easier than this, because they ain't. So Daniel Levy needs to start making some key decisions now about where we're going and start sharing some of this vision of where we're moving to. Because for me, we're just drifting and drifting and drifting. And it's not a stretch to say that we could end up in a relegation battle next season if we don't start putting plans in place now. I saw a video, a very short video from Mark Goldbridge, the Man United guy. I'm sure most of you know that, where he actually said Wrexham are more likely to win the Premier League before Tottenham. And you can't disagree with it. You literally can't disagree with it. With the owners that they've got splashing the cash, with a clear plan and a clear vision of where they want to be. So their next step was get into the league. The next step is to go further than that, and so on and so on. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't in the Premier League in the next 5 years. And where do they go from there? And they got serious backing. I get it. But we really need to start thinking now. I need to know what the plan is. I need to understand where we're going. I need to see a vision. I need to see an idea of where we're going. Because I'm at a loss. I'm literally at a loss. The love for Tottenham will never go away. I can never stop loving Tottenham because it's in your blood, it's in your heart. And I'll keep supporting them, absolutely. But at the same time, as much as I love just going for the 90 minutes and having the fun with the guys I travel with and a few beers and a bit of I need something to in my pride of my club and see us where we're going, because it's what you want. It's where you spend a lot of your time and a lot of your money and a lot of your effort and a lot of your thought. People watching stupid YouTube videos of people like me chatting shit about it and stuff. You know, we're all invested in it. For every club, every football fan's the same. We're all really invested in it. So it'd just be great to really understand where we're going from here, because I'm at a loss, absolutely at a loss. A really disappointing day. Heartbreaking to see your team lose like that, and to look on some of the players' faces, like Harry Kane, and see him going to himself, you know, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Where am I going to go from here? What chance have I got? I don't know. Anyway, on to the next one. It's only Man United on Thursday, so we'll see where that brings us. Fingers crossed we put in a better performance. I can't see it. I literally can't see it, and we've got nothing really in that squad that's gonna show any kind of difference. Hard times ahead. Never mind. Up the Spurs.